is Gina Caruso, and this is the 5th annual Honolulu Surf Film Festival, and we're so happy to have you here with us. We're the surf capital of the world. Look at all of the people who are here tonight. It's really fantastic. And this is my final year. I started this 5 years ago, and now we sell out every year, and it's just a wonderful event with so many wonderful people. Surf films are just beautiful, and if you haven't seen one, you should.
This is Mantra, and that was Beautiful Addiction.
And your name?
And my name is Jason.
Your name? Matt. Paul. Mark. Thanks, guys.
My friend is it Willie Mai?
Point Panic, basically, but you know, we all started from wherever, the wall at Waikiki, maybe, you know.
Kahaina.
And we paddled together, and I went over the falls, and he didn't even rescue me. And his son.
You know, when I was a teenager, my sister was a surfer in Rincon in Puerto Rico, and she surfed really big waves, and she took me to see surf films. And you know, at the same time, I was seeing all these like really cool art house films, and I saw surf films, and I was so exhilarated. I was like, oh my God, I've got to do that. The artist Dietrich Beres, who did the artwork, he gave this to us as a gift. He's such a sweet man, and he's an artist who lives on the Big Island. It's a really great pleasure to introduce my friend, Randy Rarick. He's executive director of the Triple Crown, and you all probably know him from the surf auction here in the Hawaiian Islands. And he is just, you know, look at him, he's such an attractive man.
Well, this is the 5th year of the Surf Film Festival, and this wouldn't have been possible without the really hard work 5 years ago from Gina Caruso. Let's give her a big hand. I remember 5 years ago when this first started with Jackie Walden, and they said, oh, we want to do a surf film festival, and Gina and Abby and them looked at about 50 surf films and then picked it. And over the last few years, it's really evolved, and there's a lot of surf film festivals in New York and Australia and all over the place, but this one is really kind of a down-home grassroots one, and I think it's so neat that they pick films that really depict what Hawaii is all about. So once again, thanks for all your help, Gina. The first film tonight will be I Love to Paddle, and I think this is a great title, and I really want to thank, and mind me if I get this wrong, Marta Czajkowska, the producer. Marta. She's actually from Poland, and she came to Hawaii and got enthralled with this, met the star of the film, and decided this was a story that had to be told. And when you watch the film, you'll see why. And I'd like to acknowledge the stars, both Nappy and Napoleon. Nappy. And you know, I grew up here, and Rabbit, Kekai's in the audience, so we're Rabbit, wherever you are out there. Rabbit's in the back. And when I was 10 years old, Rabbit taught me how to surf, and one of the guys that was a mentor to Rabbit was Duke Kahanamoku, and Duke and his brothers back in the turn of the century up through the 30s and all the way through to the 60s when he passed away were really the epitome of the Hawaiian family. And I think the Napoleons were the 5 kids that they have, 5 boys that Anona had, and what they represent the modern day of what the Kahanamokus were. So for the Napoleons. Our second film, we're going to go straight into that film. And this one is really neat because it's about something of surfing that you don't think about, but it's probably the most pure form of surfing, and that's body surfing. And the guys that put this together did a really good job. And you know, Come Hell or High Water is a really unique story, and you're going to see it on film here. And as I said, we're going to have all those guys and the gals come up here on the stage for a panel discussion after the film, so stick around for that. So once again, Marta Czajkowska, the producer of the film, I Love to Paddle. Nappy Napoleon, as I said, I think the Napoleons are the modern day Kahanamokus of this generation. We've got Mark Cunningham, retired lifeguard. Next to Mike Stewart, of course, Mike. And then on this side we have Dave Homsey and Krista Thornburg. Don's still here, King? Yeah. Don? Anybody got a question out there? Go ahead.
Paddling, do you have, I mean, what does it do to your back?
Well, I'm pretty lucky. Well, in a canoe, it's kind of different way. When you paddle, you kind of sitting forward with your leg. You use your whole leg to push your back out. Not only stay in one place and paddling with the paddling. I kind of use my shoulder, reach in with the paddle, push with my leg, twisting, using all that, like I used to show with the guy, like a weightlifter. A big guy can go there, just grab the weight and lift him right out. But in paddling, you got a small guy, you got to know how to technique pulling the blade. But so far I've been lucky and no more back trouble yet. I kind of wish that the only thing was missing out in the movies. I kind of wish we had big stuff, you know, like the body surfing, all that kind. So you really time go by fast, but you know, we was lucky it wasn't that rough, and you know. But like I said, when I'm paddling, I just don't mind me, but I feel that I'm the man in there paddling that canoe. So that's what we actually.
Marta, how is it that a girl from Poland ends up making a film about a Hawaiian paddling?
I came here to Hawaii, and by a chance I got to go on this paddling trip with Uncle Nappy, and I just was awestruck by the way he was in the water, and felt like I had all this material and I had to make the movie. And in the process, of course, I had to learn how to make a movie. So took me a while. But luckily, Uncle Nappy and Auntie Nona were really helpful and very supportive, so thank you guys. I just want to say that every day when we set off on the paddle, and every day when we were putting the boats away, Uncle Nappy was the one putting them up back on the boats and unloading while everybody else was resting. So big hands off, and just really.
Uncle Nappy, what was the hardest channel to cross?
I think going from here to Kauai, because I sailed many years on a 6-man canoe, was really big stuff and flying, and a couple of times. So I was expecting that. So, but when we did, it was kind of, wasn't that hard. I think that one was the slowest for me going across.
Would you do it again?
I would. Maybe I was telling Marta, maybe we can paddle from here to Tahiti, maybe. Seen a few whales out there. In fact, a whale almost hit Aaron down for a little while out there. Yeah, and we kind of didn't see any shark. Mom, did we see any shark out there? Point. Yeah, Point. Yeah, shark out there. Yeah. Well, I was racing about when I was 8 years old, and before that I used to live in a big island in Kealakekua Bay for a little while. All my family is from there, my mother's side, and we used to go with my grandfather, go fishing and hand line. So in paddle, when I was pretty small, paddling out there, I couldn't hold a paddle, in fact, almost. But I've been paddling racing when I was 8 years old. And the only reason why at that time they didn't have age group for Now they have 12 and unders and all that in the sprint races. But at that time I was lucky because I used to go with my cousin to the Hawaii and paddle canoe for this Hui Kalia Canoe Club. At that time they had only 3 clubs at the Hawaii, Hui Nalo, Helani, and Hui Kalia. And the racing category was 15 and under. But I was, at that time, we didn't have many canoe paddlers, so I was always going there working out, so they had to use me to make a canoe. So I got lucky.
By the way, Nappy is a young 70 years old right now.
The paddle we did was enjoyable, you know. Wasn't where we huffing and puffing and trying to beat the guy in front there. And then we would be paddling if we was wanted to eat a sandwich, my wife would just stop on the side, give us a sandwich or whatever. And then we kept paddling, so that's how it was, you know, it wasn't no really big deal, yeah. But honestly, at the movies, you know, I'm still the luckiest man in the world with my wife here, so I'm proud. Question, paddling been my life and got me all from today. And like I said, luckily we do pretty good in the races because all my friends out there who paddles with me gets me where I want to get. So, you know, many people credit to me being here in paddling canoes. So many people, Blue Maku, even Rabbit, Uncle Rabbit. Somebody surfing and steering and all this kind of stuff, Blue Marco. So many people out there I want to thank out there. Thank you.
Ever since